Welcome again. So today's space is an unplanned one. So it's been a while that I have taken some break from these spaces, but again, thought of interacting with you all. There is no set agenda for this spaces, so anyone from the audience can join us and we can have a candid conversation. So broadly, we would like to discuss like what's happening and how the elections are going on and going forward, what could be the potential short-term impacts. But again, in the long term, I think several elections have gone in the past, so that's more or less immaterial. And there are certain themes, be it the transformers or you can say the power and energy sector, which are they are doing very good, and people are very optimistic about those at this point in time. But again, the valuation point is an individual call. Some people believe that there is a huge total addressable market, and going forward, also the space ought to do good. There are several names which have done tremendously well in last 2, 3, or maybe post COVID, you can say. So certainly, we are thinking what conversation we can have around that. And apart from that, I do not see there is any material big event or anything in the market which can be of concern or anything on the positive side as well. But yeah, again, the earnings season is around the corner. So definitely we need to see which sectors or which pockets we are getting good numbers, and which are the areas wherein we are missing the deadlines, or you can say the earnings are not as per the expectations of the market. So I believe IT sector is one wherein we are getting the results are not that good, and we are seeing the slowdown in the demand. And also with the banks, the results, barring one or two names, have not been so promising. Although banking is one space, I'm not sure I'm right person to say whether the results are good or not. But again, broadly, that's the thing. But transformers and going forward, if we are thinking of increasing capacity on the renewable front, so definitely there has to be capacity available upfront. So that is one thing, and even the replacement thing, be it the domestic or international side. So that is again needs to be seen with the great interest. And definitely, I'm not saying that you should jump in that particular sector, but surely that sector is something wherein your attention is required. And even the pharma names are showing strength on chart. So definitely, pharma and healthcare is one pocket wherein you need to be fishing for the names which you understand well. And as far as market is concerned, so we should give pass to those companies which we are not able to understand well, right? Or maybe we are relying on some advisory services or say research reports basis which we can understand and make some informed decision. So definitely, the market is not in a very uh, low valuation state. Obviously, there are always bull and bear market within the broader market. So we cannot say that value is not available. But if we say that value is not available across the market, so that is, I think, a rational statement to make. But again, there would always be certain companies wherein value is available. It is all about your understanding or your study of that company, and the market thinking matches. So that is the time when you make big money. So, anything more you guys want to discuss, you can write in the comments, or maybe you can join us as a speaker, and we can set the conversation accordingly. As I told in the very beginning that this is not a planned one, but again, would love to hear thoughts from different people, or maybe if you have any questions, will try to address them in my limited capacity. And apart from that, which sectors I am in? The solar theme is again very hot, and the EPC companies. And lately, we had also discussed in our spaces the CNC companies. So obviously, that space has also done pretty well. So uh, for the hardcore value investors, so definitely they won't be touching these names. But yes, broadly, whichever conversation I had with the community, so one thing is common: they believe the private banks, which had, barring one or two names, had not participated in the broader rally, still have a lot of value available. So those top three, four names is a consensus. But again, we saw some knee jerk reaction in one of the names recently. So again, we should not be like jumping directly until unless we understand the space. And if we do not understand it on our own, so it is all related to the person. So we got one or two speakers with us. So let's see what they have to say. So Meet, you can unmute and we can have a conversation.
Hey, hi, Prince. How are you? I
Great.
have a
Yeah, 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 please.
personal question, if I may.
Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah, we'll try to address whether
Okay.
I'll be able to address that. I'll try my best.
Okay. No, you address so many spaces every day, and many different speakers have come here. They have given their view, their thoughts, and the process. Um, how has your thought process in terms of investing, how has it evolved over time? That's the first question. The second question is that, let's say many people come, they provide their view. So how do you incorporate that into your framework, or how do you vet those ideas? This is the second question.
So Meet, I tell you, like when you have too much of, I mean, you can call it information, knowledge, insights, whatnot, right? So definitely there comes a problem which we call problem of plenty, right? So you cannot incorporate everything being discussed in all of these sessions. So what we as a human being, our behavior decide what kind of person we are. So generally, what we do is like, if I mean, by nature, if we are a conservative investor, in the sense we are like averse to taking risk, in the sense, say for example, I do not understand the SME space to that extent, so I stay away from that, right? So and there are people like who just began in the market in the last 2 3 years, and they are totally into the SME space. So it's entirely different, like, and on the top of that, like when you start your investing, right, although there is a gradual learning graph which help you form your process. But again, broadly, whichever, I mean, say if I started following X on Twitter, or maybe X on X, right? So and if I am influenced by the teachings, insights, or whatever being shared by that person, so there is high tendency I'll also try to imbibe those and form a process. Things stand out clearly that whenever you invest, you should have clarity in your mind. When I say clarity, it should be like why you are investing, right? Because nobody wants to lose money. Whenever anybody is taking any investing decision, he or she thinks that this is the right decision and that will make him or her money, right? But again, it is hindsight wherein we get to know whether the decision was right or not. So likewise, I mean, there are certain people who have come and shared different thoughts. Again, that also depends on the kind of ticket size you have, right? Because if, say, somebody a fund manager comes here, so definitely he'll be telling things from his experience, or maybe although everybody has some starting point, and most majority of the participants start from lower ticket sizes, right? But again, everybody has their biases, their style. And if you ask particularly about my journey, so you can call it a mixed bag, or rather I would say there is no set process as of now. But again, I'm working on that, because there are too many plenty of ideas coming to you here and then, right? And there is not the amount of capital supporting those ideas. If say I'm getting 10, 12 ideas a day, or maybe even 5, 6 ideas a day, so we cannot invest in all the ideas which come to you, right? So there comes a decision point wherein you decide that you give weightage that from where the idea is coming and what's the story behind that investment, right? So in your capacity, you try to grill things around that. In your capacity, you try to go through the screener or maybe other tools like Tijori, and see what the company does, and what are its financials, the cash flow statement, the shareholding pattern, any big investor has taken or sold a stake, the announcement section, right? So there are many moving parts which you try to go through. And again, you cannot if your horizon, or maybe if you are going to from one idea to the other, in that case you won't be able to do justice to any of your investment. And as we see, when the market is generous, in the sense there is a secular bull run, in those cases majority of the investment do well. I cannot say all, but majority of the participant make money out of luck, which they later think that it is their skill which has helped them make some money. So it's all I mean depend on what was the second question, Meet? I forgot the second question.
So when you, you answered it pretty well, and I think you covered the second part as well. Having said that, the second part was that how do you incorporate all of those thoughts or ideas into your framework, which was very eloquently put by you. So thank you so much, Prince.
Thank you, Meet. And Meet, the problem is these days we believe that there is one sect which firmly believes in fundamentals alone, and there are people who believe we are in an era wherein the charts is most of the time speaks about the fundamentals, or even ahead of the fundamentals when they are reflected in numbers. So it's all dependent on an individual what works for them. So there is always a tendency when somebody other in your group, or a person known to you makes good money, or do a killing in the market, so definitely you try to jump your gun on that front. But again, until unless we understand the nuances of technicals, so you cannot firmly believe that way to make you big money. So it's all individual, and most of the time it happens with the majority of the participants. You invest in some company, it will remain a dull investment for quite a while, and the moment you get fed up of that and sell your position, it will start moving. So that happens with all the majority of the participants. And secondly, one is the kind of network you have greatly. It also brings the problem of plenty, but it also help you greatly with the investment ideas. And that is again, it's always to be a part of a good investment investor community. So next is Sarabjit. So Sarabjit, do you have anything to say or ask?
Yeah, good evening, Prince. Actually, I have a different topic which is not related to the stock market because I I've been in touch with some friends of mine which are indulging from last 5 to 6 months, like last year. Since last year, they have been investing a big chunk of amount into such schemes which are offering. I am from Punjab, from Ludhiana, and from Chandigarh, Mohali, and Ludhiana. They have an offices. They are offering like uh, like a uh, uh, investment opportunity which allows you to invest a lump sum amount, which gives you within a 10 years, which makes 4 times of your wealth, of your initial capital. For example, if you are investing 10 lakhs, they are giving you 48,000 per month rental income against the cloud data center. So these are basically a data center companies which are getting the subscribers. So I am just mentioning 10 lakhs, but in my city, in my state, and according to my friend, some people known to him, most of the people, they have invested more than 2.5 crores and more than that amount into these things. And today he was talking to me, and he was intending to invest in that. And I said, if it's granted rental income on such scheme, please don't do that, because that much return, like you are making your capital 4 times in 10 years, and that is granted. So I feel something wrong. So I don't know whether you are aware of this kind of scheme is going around, but from my point of view, something is wrong. So I just wanted to put this into the spaces. If someone has an idea, what's going on with these clouds company, which are just offering the opportunities to invest such a lump sum amount and get a granted monthly rental income against that. Please come forward and discuss. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarabjit, for raising a pertinent point. So, my simple input on this topic would be like, we first of all need to inquire about whether it's a regulated product or unregulated, right? And if it's regulated, we get to know that from where it is regulated, in the sense like, is it in line with the guidelines of the banks, or maybe the SEBI or other institution, wherever it falls, right? But again, if it is unregistered, so my suggestion would be not to fall prey of such Ponzi schemes, because most of the time you'll see where people in the tier 2, tier 3 cities are often made to suffer through these kind of schemes, because the people who have very low ticket sizes, and when they are given hope, they believe that with such kind of returns they'll change their fortune. But sadly, whatever they have in have with them, they often lose that, right? So one should be very cautious about that scheme. So as let me give a funny example. Like, we used to say, whenever a beautiful girl on Facebook sends you a request, so you should reject him, right? So likewise, most of the time, majority, there is no easy money wherever you go, right? Be it the market or debt instruments, or whichever way, right? And even in the lotteries, the chances of winning a lottery is very low. So odds are most of the time against majority of the people. So first of all, we need to make a segregation. We should go for regulated products, and on the top of that, we should also keep our expectations right. So that would be, I think, suffice for this discussion. Yeah.
Actually, no, Prince. I'm not talking about the temptation and all these things. The thing is, the guys who are recommending it, they are highly educated people. They are lawyers. Some of them are in highly posted in the police department and government departments, and they are mentioning it, and they have been getting the regular rental for last 1 year. Although I know it's a Ponzi scheme, I just raised this issue to get aware. If someone from the group gets something fishy out of it, so that he can raise his voice, he can mention it. Where is the key? Because from my point of view, I think some of operator might have created these kind of things, who might be running the PSUs or some other stocks. They have initiated from last 1.5 or 2 years these kind of schemes to get the money from the market, even though they have generated 4 times, 5 times, 6 times of the returns, and they are giving.
Sanjit, I fail to understand in the sense like if say 10 lakh is invested upfront and they're giving 48,000 per month, right?
Yeah,
And for an amount to 5 lakh plus, if my maths is right. So in 10 years, it would be
48 lakh.
something over 50 lakhs. So that is more than 4x. But I'm not sure whether that's possible
Yeah,
or not. But again, the only point we will cut the discussion short by saying that we should be cautious. And I'm not saying everything is fraud, but again, whenever something extraordinary returns are being
affordable.
assured to you, in that case, you should be very cautious. There is a very rare possibility that everything is right with
Yeah,
that.
I
So let's.
I I
Hmm.
I already warned my friend not to put his money, because he was deciding to put 50 lakhs into this. I said just wait, because I feel something fishy in it. So
Yeah, that's Sarji. That's a sound advice on your part. So let's move on to the next speaker, and we'll see what margin of safety sir has to say, and then we'll come
okay,
again if time allows
okay,
us.
thank you.
So, Mr. Margin of Safety, not sure what your name is. You can unmute and maybe ask or keep your limited
सर
points.
गुड इवनिंग।
Good evening,
सर
sir.
एक्चुअली मुझे कुछ पूछना था एक्चुअली।
Sir, please
हाँ,
go ahead.
मैं जो बैंकर हूँ, मैं 4-5 साल से मैं एक्टिवली सेल्फ स्टडी करके ही मार्केट में करता हूँ। कोई टिप्स भी नहीं, कोई कुछ नहीं, और सर हमने अच्छा प्रॉफिट जनरेट किया है। और सब मैं सारी चीज़ें जो है ना कॉन कॉल भी पढ़ता हूँ, इन्वेस्टर प्रेजेंटेशन भी पढ़ता हूँ, सारी चीज़ें। वो सब का सर सारा जो है ना मेरे को लगता है कि मैं ठीक चल रहा हूँ, पर सर मेरे को सेक्टर ओवरव्यू जो है ना, कि सेक्टर का ओवरव्यू के लिए मेरे को कहाँ से हेल्प मिलेगा? मैं सेक्टर पे कहाँ से रीड करूँ तो ताकि मेरे को सेक्टर पे अच्छा मेरा कांसेप्ट क्लियर हो? ये मेरा क्वेश्चन है सर।
सर सेक्टर का तो आप अगर देखें, जैसे आप ट्विटर पे अवेलेबल हैं तो बहुत सारे ऐसे हैंडल्स हैं, वो डिफरेंट डिफरेंट सेक्टर्स के बारे में कहीं ना कहीं बात होती रहती है। जो हॉट सेक्टर होते हैं उनके बारे में भी, या फिर कोई ऐसी थीम जो जिसका मतलब काफी पोटेंशियल, ग्रोथ पोटेंशियल या टोटल एड्रेसेबल मार्केट काफी अच्छी रहती है, तो उसके बारे में भी शेयर करते हैं। उसके अलावा सर आपको मतलब अपने आप से ये है कि कोई भी कंपनी आपकी नजर में आती है तो एक नॉर्मली पूरा डीप डाइव तो हर एक कंपनी का नहीं कर सकते, बट एक हाइजीन चेक के रूप में आप देख सकते हैं स्क्रीनर पे या किसी और ऐसे टूल पे जिसपे कि भाई ये कंपनी क्या करती है, और उससे भी आप एक उनके पीयर्स वगैरह देख के थोड़ा सेक्टर का आइडिया लग जाता है। बट अगेन सेक्टर का एज सच कहीं पे स्पेसिफिक मुझे
हाँ।
भी नहीं पता है कि भाई कहीं आप जाके कुछ देखें और वहीं पे आपको सेक्टोरल
हाँ
इंफॉर्मेशन मिलेगी। सोशल मीडिया न्यूज़ इन्हीं के थ्रू सर मिल जाती
सर,
है बहुत सारी
और
इंफॉर्मेशन।
डीप में जाना चाहता हूँ। वैसे तो ओवरव्यू मिल जाता है मैं ट्विटर से और कई सारे मनी कंट्रोलर ये सब से पढ़ के जो है ना स्टडी करके जो है मेरे को कई जगह से मैं ले लेता हूँ, तो मुझे आइडिया है कहाँ आगे टेलविंड से और कहाँ क्या है। बट सर मैं थोड़ा डीप जाना चाहता हूँ कि उस सेक्टर को ही समझूं। जैसे मैं केमिकल बिल्कुल मेरे अंडरस्टैंडिंग नहीं आता है केमिकल में कहाँ, तो इस तरह से कौन सा ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म है जहाँ से मैं इसका मतलब स्टडी कर सकता हूँ, मेरा ये मतलब पूछने का मतलब है।
सर केमिकल का अभी मेरे को प्लेटफॉर्म याद नहीं आ रहा है, बट जो मोहित है उसने काफी बार अपने वीडियोस में एक उसका एक तो केमिकल न्यूज़ करके भी शायद वो आपको ईमेल्स, अगर आप उसको सब्सक्राइब करेंगे तो आपको ईमेल्स आती रहती है। मेरे को अगर पता लगेगा तो सर मैं आपको डीएम करूंगा। देर आर प्लेसेस वेर इन यू गेट जो बेसिकली केमिकल्स हैं उनके प्राइसेस, कमोडिटीज वगैरह के प्राइसेस आपको पता लग जाते हैं। ऐसे पोर्टल हैं, बट एग्जैक्टली मैं अभी रिकलेक्ट नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ कि कहाँ पे।
आपको मैंने दिया, मैं हर सेक्टर का मतलब ब्रॉडर व्यू ओवरव्यू मुझे जानना है कि कब क्या उसमें कब रिसेशन आता है, कब स्टॉकिंग होता है, डी स्टॉकिंग होता है। हमने इस तरह की जो भी चीजें है ना उस सेक्टर के बारे में पार्टिकुलर में थोड़ा डीप में जानना चाहता हूँ। मेरे को अंडरस्टैंडिंग मतलब सेक्टर वाइज मेरे को करना है, ये मेरा purpose
सर आप एक काम भी कर सकते हैं। एक दो हमने केमिकल सेक्टर पे स्पेसेस भी किए हैं पास में, तो आप मेरे ट्विटर नहीं यूट्यूब हैंडल पे अगर आप जाएंगे और केमिकल के नाम से सर्च करेंगे ना, तो आपको 2-3 पॉडकास्ट मिलेंगे। तो उसमें विस्तार से काफी जो डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ कंपनीज हैं, बीट पिगमेंट डाइज या फिर आपका स्पेशलिटी केमिकल, कॉस्टिक सोडा एक्सेट्रा, जो कमोडिटी केमिकल्स हैं, तो उस पे विस्तार से चर्चा हुई है। तो अगर आपको समय लगे तो सर आप वो भी देख सकते हैं। और उसमें हो सकता है कहीं ना कहीं जिक्र हुआ हो कि भाई जो केमिकल्स में जो चीजें चलती रहती हैं, या फिर चाइना वाले एंगल से भी उसको देखते हैं कि भाई चाइना में उस केमिकल का प्रोडक्शन कैसा है, वो डंप कर रहा है नहीं कर रहा है, क्या इन्वेंट्री डी स्टॉकिंग वगैरह बहुत सारी चीजें हैं सर। और केमिकल्स में ब्रॉडली आप पता लगा सकते हैं कि स्पेशलिटी और कमोडिटी का फर्क तो सर आप कंपनी मार्जिन से भी आप देख सकते हैं कि मार्जिन में कितनी फ्लक्चुएशन है या कितने मार्जिन स्ट्रक्चरल है। तो वो अच्छे पॉडकास्ट है सर, अगर आपको समय लगे तो डेफिनेटली देखना। और एक SYC शायद आप जानते ही होंगे, तो वहां पे भी बहुत अच्छी, हाँ, तो उन्होंने भी शायद वो केमिकल का उनका कोई वीडियो रहा होगा तो उसके डिस्क्रिप्शन में देखना, शायद उन्होंने मेंशन किया होगा। नहीं तो सर इंडियन केमिकल न्यूज करके है, आप अगर गूगल सर्च करेंगे तो उनको आप सब्सक्राइब, मतलब नॉर्मल है, फ्री सब्सक्रिप्शन है उसका,
ओके
तो वो आपको ईमेल सेंड करते हैं।
ठीक है, ठीक
थैंक यू सर।
है, थैंक यू।
So Parv, you can unmute and you can ask or maybe speak.
Yes, sir. Good evening, and thanks a lot to give me the opportunity to speak here, sir. I want to take one advice from you and one suggestion from my side. So first of all, I need a advice, sir. So, sir, मुझे यहाँ तक लग रहा है कि मार्केट ठीक है, अभी सही चल रहा है. सो आई वांट टू बी डू इन्वेस्टमेंट. तो मेरा इन्वेस्टमेंट का सर ये है कि जब भी निफ्टी में कोई माइनर करेक्शन आता है तो एक ना एक सेक्टर हमेशा 52 लो वीक पे मिलता है. जस्ट लाइक अभी बात चल रही थी केमिकल स्टॉक्स की, तो बहुत अच्छे स्टॉक्स थे जो हमें अच्छे भाव पे मिल रहे थे. पेशेंस इज द मेन थिंग. हमें अगर पैसा कमाना है तो पेशेंस रखने पड़ेंगे अच्छा भाव लेने के लिए, और पैसा कमाना है तो अच्छे भाव पे हमें बेचना भी पड़ेगा वेट करके. सो मैं ये बोलना चाहता हूँ कि अगर मैं कुछ ब्लू चिप स्टॉक्स अगले 10 साल के लिए अपने अपने पोर्टफोलियो में इकट्ठा करते जाऊं फॉर 10 साल के लिए, और वो ओनली ब्लू चिप्स ही रहेंगे, और उसके साथ साथ मैं अगर मिड कैप और स्मॉल कैप को मैं हैंडल नहीं कर सकता और मुझे उसकी इतना नॉलेज भी नहीं होगा कि वो कौन से स्टॉक कौन सी न्यूज पे कब रिएक्ट करते हैं, उसके लिए मैं एक 5 to 10,000 की 2 SIP, एक मिड कैप में एक स्मॉल कैप में डाल के छोड़ने वाला हूँ, मतलब नेक्स्ट 2-3 मंथ से अप टू 2035 तक. सो जस्ट टेल मी कि जहां तक मुझे लग रहा है मेरी कैपिटल अच्छी खासी ग्रो होने वाली है, चाहे कोई भी पार्टी आए, कुछ भी हो, मार्केट में कोई भी सर्कल जाए. इफ वी वांट टू टेक ए मनी फ्रॉम मार्केट, वी सपोज टू वेट फॉर नियर बाय 10 years. सो इज आई एम राइट ऑन आई एम राइट ट्रैक, और मैं गलत कर रहा हूँ सर? प्लीज सजेस्ट.
तो पर्व, मैं इस पे आपको ये कहूंगा, जैसे आप कह रहे हैं कि ब्लू चिप्स में आप डायरेक्ट इन्वेस्टिंग की बात कर रहे हो, तो उसमें अगर आप म्यूचुअल फंड के रूट से ही जाओगे तो उसमें क्या इशू है? मतलब आप एक फंड मैनेजर को ट्रस्ट करेंगे तो इट इज फेयर टू अज्यूम कि हम ये मान के चल रहे हैं हमें उनकी तरह इतना हमें नहीं पता है, राइट? सो व्हाई नॉट ट्रस्ट अ म्यूचुअल फंड गाय ऑन दैट इफ और उसमें आप ये कर सकते हैं कि अपनी स्किल्स और अच्छी करें जिससे कि इनकम अच्छी हो और आप उसमें और अच्छा इन्वेस्ट कर पाए। क्योंकि यार देखो ब्लू चिप्स में इन्वेस्ट करना, आई मीन ऑब्वियसली पास्ट में जिन्होंने ऐसा किया है उनका अच्छा कॉर्पस बना है, बट उसको आप एक, बिकॉज मार्केट में ना यार हर चीज एक टाइम पे काम नहीं करती और जो 10 साल का होराइजन है उसमें बहुत सारा ऐसा पीरियड आएगा कि लार्ज कैप अच्छा करेगा, स्मॉल मिड कैप ओके ओके इश करेगा, या फिर स्मॉल मिड कैप बहुत अच्छा करेगा, लार्ज कैप जैसे पिछले 2-3 साल से बहुत ज्यादा अच्छा नहीं किया है उस हिसाब से रहेगा। तो ब्रॉडली आप क्रॉस दी मेरा मेरा पॉइंट ये है कि ब्लू चिप्स में आप डिसीजन पॉइंट तो आपका रहेगा ना कि मान लो अगर निफ्टी की कंपनीज की मैं अगर बात करूं कि उस 50 में से आप क्या चूज कर रहे हो, तो वहां आपका डिसीजन पॉइंट आ गया, राइट? तो वो आप अगर कैपेबल हो कि इफ यू आर एबल टू फाइंड आउट द कंपनीज इन टॉप परसेंटाइल इन दैट डोमेन ऑफ ब्लू चिप्स, तो डेफिनेटली यू विल मेक गुड मनी। और पैरेलली सर अब 10 साल का होराइजन बहुत बड़ा होता है, बट अगेन ये तो सर्टेनिटी है कि आप अच्छे फंड मैनेजर और अच्छे फंड में इन्वेस्ट करेंगे तो डेफिनेटली एक आपका जो नॉमिनल जीडीपी प्लस इन्फ्लेशन का जो आपका नॉर्मल मोटा माटी आप 11-12% एक बेस मान के चलें कि उतना तो मिनिमम साइड पे बनेगा ही, और उसके ऊपर जो रहेगा वो आपका अल्फा बनेगा। पर what was your second question or suggestion maybe?
Hello.
Yeah, Parv, go ahead.
Yeah, is I'm audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So, sir, is from my experience, I want to just give a one suggestion to everyone who's in right now in space here. I think trading is not a good thing for everyone because बोलने में जाता है मैं एक is my experience from last 4 years. You make one in one day 10 lakhs and you lost 20 lakhs in a 2-3 days. तो कहने का मतलब क्या है? You can only make reach to brokers only and moreover वो tax pay. So this is from my side. If somebody want to take a good money, please start investment, leave trading. That's it.
Thank you. So I think let me see the comments if there is any specific. यार कितने अच्छे लोग हैं, कमेंट्स में भी कंपनी के बारे में पूछते हैं। तो यार मेरी स्पेसेस में मेजॉरिटी ने देखा होगा कि स्टॉक से ज्यादा प्रोसेस पे ज्यादा फोकस रहता है। और ऐसा नहीं है कि स्टॉक्स बिल्कुल डिस्कस नहीं होते, देयर वर सम spaces wherein dedicatedly we try to cover the companies in that space, but again कभी ये thought process नहीं रहता कि किसी कंपनी की बाय सेल या उस पे ऐसा बिजनेस व्यू भले ही डिस्कस हो जाते हैं, बट क्योंकि यार देखो इंडिविजुअल कंपनी का अभी मैं बोल दूं यार अच्छी है, कल तुम जाके खरीद लो और वो अच्छी ना निकले, तो देर इज नो पॉइंट इन सजेस्टिंग। और on the top of that, we are not SEBI registered, so by no chance we are able to guide you on that front. So let's move on. Who is next? Feroz.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, please
My
go ahead.
concern is right now the market is on the top, almost on the top. Right now we are going for the investment. We cannot predict how much it will be going to down. This time the best thing we can do the trading is best, right? Because in trading we should have a one process. At least we have one risk reward ratio. Like we should have a stop loss. So based on that, we can at least we can uh, manage or control our investment, right? I mean the how much we are investing in the stock, at least we can manage. That's what I feel. Do you have any suggestion on that one? If I'm
So,
wrong or
I mean, everybody is right in their understanding. It is the market to decide in hindsight whether one was right or not. So trading देखो यार, सीधी सी बात है, ट्रेडिंग ऐसा नहीं है कि आप टाइम पास के लिए कर रहे हो. ट्रेडिंग requires your entire focus, screen time and ऑब्वियसली आजकल बहुत सारी ऐसी सब्सक्रिप्शंस भी हैं, बी इट ट्रेडिंग व्यू और एक तो और है चार्टिंग करके, और भी हो सकती है, मेरी जानकारी में नहीं है. और उसमें भी एक तरीके से वो आपका पार्ट टाइम नहीं है, उसके लिए आपको फुल अटेंशन, फुल अंडरस्टैंडिंग, मार्केट वोलेटिलिटी और सारे जो इंडिकेटर्स या जिसके बेसिस पे आप करते हो. बट अगेन ट्रेडिंग या एफएनओ आपका जीरो सम गेम है. So obviously that is risky and as the data says, very less participants make money through trading. हाँ, आजकल ट्रेंड है कि चार्ट के बेसिस पे स्विंग ट्रेड काफी अच्छे से लोग एग्जीक्यूट कर लेते हैं. बट हाउ लॉन्ग दैट विल कंटिन्यू और हाउ गुड वन इज एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड द न्यूएंसेस ऑफ स्विंग ट्रेडिंग और उसमें कितना वो स्ट्रिक्ट रह पाते हैं अपने स्टॉप लॉसेस एंड ऑल से. सो इट इज अगेन आई वुड से कि इंडिविजुअल है. आई कैनॉट से कि ट्रेडिंग बुरी है और आई कैनॉट से कि वो अच्छी है. सो इट हैज बोथ द साइड्स. द ओनली पॉइंट इज कि आपको जो समझ में आता है दैट इज गुड फॉर यू, और जो आपको नहीं समझ में आता है तो यू शुड बी वेरी कॉशियस अबाउट इट. देयर इज नो हार्म इन लर्निंग. बट अगेन ये है कि until unless आप कुछ अपना एक नीश आइडेंटिफाई करके और उस पे ही ज्यादा फोकस करें और मास्टर करें, दैट इज गोइंग टू हेल्प यू बेटर रादर देन लाइक आज मेरी बात सुन रहे हो, कल किसी और की सुन रहे हो, फिर परसों किसी और की सुन रहे हो और देयर इज नो प्रोसेस इन प्लेस एट ऑल. सो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट हो जाता है कि आपको क्लैरिटी होना चाहिए कि भाई आपको क्या समझ में आता है. आपकी एक्सेप्टेंस ऑफ डिफीट इज अ वेरी गुड कॉन्सेप्ट. जो आपको नहीं आता है, आप कोशिश करें फिर भी नहीं हो रहा है, तो वी शुड एक्सेप्ट कि यार हमसे नहीं हो रहा है. तो उस केस में या तो हम वहां पे जाएं ही ना, या वी ट्रस्ट somebody who is into providing services or maybe knows that subject matter better, right? अब सिंपली सोशल मीडिया पे आके आपको नाम तो बहुत मिल जाएंगे, आइडियाज भी फॉर दैट, फॉर नेम सेक आपको बहुत सारे मिल जाएंगे, लेकिन आप उसको बताने वाले की ना इंटेंशन समझ पाएंगे और ना उसका प्रोसेस पूरा फॉलो कर पाएंगे. बिकॉज nobody is bound to tell you कि there are people who tell when they buy or sell, but again you might miss that name, right? And you never know कि उतने टाइम में आप कितना उस पे आप लॉस कर लेंगे. तो इट इज ऑलवेज ऑलवेज बेटर कि आप कुछ अपना एक नीश या जो आपका अंडरस्टैंडिंग का स्पेस है उसको आइडेंटिफाई करें. या पीछे अभी बात हो रही थी कि म्यूचुअल फंड का रूट भी बहुत अच्छा है कि भाई आपको सिर्फ अपफ्रंट ये पता करना है कि कौन सा फंड मैनेजर अच्छा है और उसके कौन से फंड में आपको इन्वेस्ट करना है. और जब तक वो चीजें आपको लग रहा है कि अच्छे से चल रही है तो यू शुड रिमेन इन्वेस्टेड इन दैट फंड. तो ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि भाई डायरेक्ट इक्विटी से ही आपका पैसा बनेगा. देयर आर plenty of examples wherein people made a good corpus through mutual funds. और इसमें एक और नॉर्मली चर्चा होती है तो वी ऑफन टॉक अबाउट इट कि अगर 3 साल में आपका म्यूचुअल फंड का रिटर्न आपके डायरेक्ट इक्विटी इन्वेस्टमेंट के रिटर्न से अच्छा आ रहा है तो इट इज ऑलवेज वाइज टू गो इन्वेस्टिंग थ्रू अ म्यूचुअल फंड राउट. सो शिवा
I have,
या फेरोज जल्दी से.
yeah, my concern something like the most of the Rajesh Jhunjhunwala, everybody is maybe they make that kind of uh, I mean core value from in a single stock or only maybe one or two stocks, and remaining all the stocks they maybe they either they exited in loss or they do something like that only. The probability of getting that kind of multi-bagger is very difficult, right? Like 100x to 1000x, something like that. Instead, if you are following like swing trading, something like that, it will be at least we can double in a year or 2 year in our portfolio, right? Mainly stock will not create any wealth. Only the portfolio only create the wealth. That's what I'm understanding. That's the reason I just asked the question.
Ferus, we often quote late RJ sir or be it Warren Buffett or Charlie Munger or many great investors which had their good times in the market. But one thing is certain that they all had plenty of patience and the time was by their side. So the examples which you are giving, you are only talking in hindsight, right? And they became popular over a period of 10, 20 years of their investing career, right? So we never know that, like, if we are, say, 70, 80 participants in this spaces, so you never know somebody might come as a next renowned investor, right? Sometime 10, 15, 20 years down the line. So I'm not saying trading is bad or you cannot create corpus through trading, but saying कि अगर आप ट्रेडिंग से कॉर्पस नहीं बनाएंगे तो आप बड़ा पैसा नहीं बना सकते, that is again in my limited understanding is not a right thing. And again, you talked about 100 baggers, so obviously 100 bagger there are very is that you get 100 beggars in a very short span of time that has its own gestation period of 10, 20 years. So obviously if you identify something at a very nascent stage and you had the capacity to withhold that investment for that period in which you underwent certain ups and downs, so definitely over a period of time there would be 100 beggars or maybe 500 beggars, right? So time तो लगेगा अब overnight. I do not think कि ऐसा possible है, because last 3-4 years in the market had been kind for a majority of the participants, so we should not extrapolate that with all the investments, right? And the market cycles have been kind recently, but again, those who are in the market from 10, 20 years, they know better that when the market is not by your side, so you'll be like butchered like anything, right? So that is the nature of the market.
Yeah, one more thing, like in Indian stock market, most of the more than 80% companies are in cyclic only, right? And even the companies came with IPO in 2004 to 2008. Around 90% companies are not exist right now. Only few names like Infosys or HDFC, something like that only we are hearing. Remaining all stocks not exist right now. So at that time only the crores of people may be invested in that kind of stocks. Right now they are nothing. They lost all the money, right? Only the few lucky people, they by luckily they invested in Infosys or some. I mean, what are the good names coming, HDFC or something like that? That people only now they are making the money. Remaining all are bankrupted or they will lose the money.
Right. Thank you, Ferus, for your inputs and questions. We'll go to the next
Prince,
speaker.
I don't know. I studied somewhere. I read somewhere. That's the reason I just asked. So that's
No
the
problem.
things happening in the Indian market, right?
So Ferus, we have more speakers in line. I'll come to you after a while. So Shiva, you had something to say?
First of all, thank you so much, sir, for conducting these kind of spaces. Trust me, I mean, these have really helped me. I mean, in my case, it has been really helpful. So, sir, I just want, before asking the question, am I allowed to ask about a specific stock?
यार अलाउड को तो ऐसा कोई रोक टोक नहीं है, बट आप ये पूछोगे ये लेना
नहीं
है या
नहीं, I'm
बेचना
not
है तो
asking that. I'm asking about the, so like my question is, सर मैंने स्टार डेल्टा ट्रांसफॉर्मर्स लिया था अ वीक बिफोर, सो आपको प्रोस्पेक्ट्स कैसे लग रहा है उसके? आई एम नॉट आस्किंग अबाउट बाइंग और सेलिंग रिकमेंडेशन, लाइक व्हाट इज योर ओपिनियन ऑन दैट?
यार ऑनेस्टली शिवा, मैंने इसको ना देखा है ना पढ़ा है, तो आई वोंट बी एबल टू हेल्प यू ऑन दैट, बट सिंस वी हैव नवीन विद अस, ऑल्दो is more into the SME space. But if he has any inputs on that company, would love to. So Naveen, by any chance you, went through that company, or I mean,
Hi, I've actually not gone through that company, but I think the transformer space is good. Just from viewing screener, I think that on Q basis, the profit has gone down from like September quarter to December quarter. It will be important to watch like in March quarter what are the results of the company. But just on very broad overview, there are some prominent investors already invested in this company. So I think just wait for this quarter results and then you can take a call. But overall, power transformer sector, I think it has a good tailwind right now.
Thank you so much, sir. Just one last question. Just one very small question, sir. How do you see the prospects of EV? Like hydrogen के आने के बाद, will it be affected or like how do you see the prospects?
I think that overall, the EV market is having a little bit of a slowdown. I am in Florida in the US, and I can see that there is a slowdown in the EV market, in the US itself, and US is supposed to be, full of EV cars. I myself own a EV car, but I can see that the EV, car market demand has come down. The prices are going down. I don't know if you must have read in the news now that Elon Musk has been slashing prices, a lot on the EV cars. So I think the sector itself is a good sector. As far as India goes, you have to see that how the infrastructure around the EV charging is coming up. That is most crucial. There's a lot of plan for companies to launch EV cars, but unless a good infrastructure is made, like even in the US, every 15-20 minutes you will see a supercharger point here. That is because of the infrastructure they have created. If you don't have the good infrastructure, then there is no use of having a EV car, right? You cannot go for a longer drive. You can only maybe take it from your home to office, come back. You must have a charger at home. So the infrastructure is the most crucial for the success of EV. And as far as hydrogen is concerned, it has to be, EV took so many years, right? It has to be tried and tested to see if there are any issues coming out of it.
so Naveen, as far as the transformers, transmission and distribution is concerned, so there are talks that international orders are also coming in good numbers. And even specifically, if we talk about the US, so it is hard that they'll need a replacement big time.
Yeah,
So,
transformers, as I
do
told
you-
you, there are a lot of tailwinds. So it's a great sector to be in. But there are a lot of companies, and the company which he was talking about, Delta, is also an SME company only. 370 crore market cap. All these SME companies, you have to see how they'll be able to deliver if they get good order book. Also, whether they're doing capex.
Sandeep, I guess we lost you. I cannot hear you. Naveen?
Can you hear me?
Naveen? Yeah, right now I can.
So I think transformer sector is very good to be in right now. With all the tailwinds behind it, it can do very, very well. Just you have to be selective on which company you're putting your money on.
But do you believe, Naveen, there is any valuation comfort remaining, since this space has been already discovered by the market, and people are gung-ho about whichever name is available in the market in the listed
See,
space?
again, valuation comes on quarter on quarter. What is their order book coming, how are they able to deliver. If even if you buy a company at 50 PE today and they are able to double their profits, you know you are going to get it at a cheap valuation. It's about execution. I think mostly in SME companies now it's on execution, because I have always been an investor. I've never bought stocks with high PE. Okay, throughout my 18 years of my investing, for me, the first parameter was always like I should buy low PE stocks. And because of that, I missed out on a lot of multi-bagger rallies also, right? Because for me, when I used to see companies at 100 PE, I said, "Isme kya itna special hai?" Right? Why should I pay 100 PE for this company? And then down the line 1 year you will see that these companies from that level also they have gone up like 2x 3x because they are executing very well. They are able to grow their profits at a very rapid pace. So it's very important to understand like what kind of order books they are having, what is their capex, what is their execution capabilities, how the management is, whether they are aggressive or not.
Exactly. So let's see what Deepak has on his part. So Deepak, you can unmute and ask your question.
Yeah, so I had the same question regarding the valuation comfort, right? So I think this Star Delta is having a decent valuation at this moment, right, sir? It's trading around the PE of around 30.
See, honestly, I'm somebody who looks at PE with, less than 15 to be in a comfort zone. But even at 30, it can do very well. It again depends on, the execution, what they're going to do.
Exactly. Right. So I think this stock has rallied a lot in last one.
Yeah, I can just see that it's already gone up from 200 to 1200, So you have to, just see how they are executing in the next 1 quarter and then take a call.
So Naveen, like when everybody is talking about one thing now, so that makes me jittery in the sense we need to be cautious about. So SME space is one wherein I believe the majority of the participants, which are pretty new to the market, barring few which had prior experience and are doing well,
Yeah.
right? So which all risk you see in the near future when it comes to SMEs? Do you see any slowdown going forward, be it after the elections or maybe within a year or so, or you believe this is a structural run wherein we'll see many SME companies will be moving to the main board and the sector as a whole, I mean, the space as a whole ought to do good.
Obviously, like India is having a very good structural run, right? Like even in the US right now, I work for a prominent MNC in the consumer electronic space, and everybody here is looking at setting up a manufacturing base in India, and then they want a good infrastructure around it to be built. So there is a structural boom which, if an SME entrepreneur is very aggressive, he can easily capitalize on it. So again, I see that right now you need to see in SME especially it's like venture capital investment. If you know that the promoter is good and he's strong, he has very good execution capabilities, right? That is the stock you need to be in, sit there for long term. In the last 2 years, I have like maybe some of my stocks have gone up like 2x, and I've booked out thinking that it's already very heated, and it has gone up another 4x after that. So that's how the structure is right now. But obviously there is froth also, because every second company is running up 3x 4x nowadays in SME space. So you have to filter it out and don't get into and including me, I get into that FOMO space, because I feel what happened, I just invested in a stock, it's just gone up 30%, and the other stocks have gone up 2x 3x, right? That is something which will start shaking your fundamentals, what you believe. Earlier in the market, whenever I've invested in so many years, if I was getting 30-40% every year, I was feeling very very happy. But now that feeling is gone. Like if I get 30% also in 3 or 4 months, I don't feel happy about it. So we have to get ourselves out of that phase. Keep in your mind that even if you're doing SME investing, don't go very very concentrated. Maybe pick up 7 8 good names, put it in that. You have to think like a venture capitalist. You have to think that, okay, I'm going to in on this company, I believe this to do well. And don't get into a very very short term thinking, because some of these companies can give you 10x return. We book out very very quickly. I see many of them entering 20%, 30% mil gaya, let us leave, right? But if the company is good, they will turn out to be very, very big because of the structural bull run. Today, I'll tell you, there is nowhere people are looking except India, right? Any big and anyone who's looking to have a second manufacturing base, it is only India. There's nowhere else they're